so I guess you thought it was a game. See, I'm not. Bishop is still praying for me. I come from the school of Tupac. I'm a rider. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to rap. You don't want to what? See, I'm not the average Negro. Hold up. Tez, I want to ask you a question real quick. Let's just keep it real, straight shot, no chaser. You know, being is nice, I'm going to get a little bit rough. It's about standing for justice. I'm here for those who really believe in the American process, all of us. You blame me if you want to. Now, we don't have to have who we tell how not to have a Negro. Hold up. Straight shot, no chaser. With your girl, Tezlyn Figaro, on the Black Effect Podcast Network. All right, everybody. This is a impromptu straight shot, no chaser episode. I wanted to jump in quickly. Shout out to the YouTube family. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, make sure you do that. Instagram, it is up in the comments. I'm also Instagram live because I want to have this conversation quickly about Tennessee. I just got done doing some commentary with Revolt Black News. Shout out to Revolt. And so since I'm on a roll, I thought I would go ahead and give you a little bit of information that you can, carry on with you as you have these conversations. I also want to do a little bit of straightening as well for the trolls in the building to make sure that we help guide you in keeping the main thing the main thing. So let me first say this. What is going on in Tennessee is not about the elected representatives alone. Let me say it again. It is not about just the representatives alone. The reason why I say that is because many of you, and I'm looking at you in the comments, continue to keep making it about the representatives. When you make it just about the representatives, then that is going to open up the water hole that some of these trolls want to bring you in to start having the debate about guns, to start having the debate about if you like Democrats or not, to start having the debate about what we should be doing. I am going to give you how to shut this argument down and to make the distinction between those that get this and those who don't. Those that have major platforms and are not getting this, and those who don't. The bottom line is, these two men were sent to the House of Representatives to represent their constituents, period. The bottom line is, let me say it again for those in the back, these representatives were sent to the House of Representatives on the state level to represent the people that voted them in. You don't have to agree with what those people wanted. You don't have to like what those people wanted. You don't have to say that what they wanted was right. But the bottom line is, if they sent those two men to go represent the fact that they believe that everybody should wear purple shirts on Tuesday, then they elected those individuals to go represent that, period. And that was taken away, and that is a threat to us all, including my conservative friends that don't like Democrats. Guess what, conservative Black person? If you send somebody to go represent your interests, do you not want them to have the opportunity to represent that? So this is not a question about if you agree with their policy or not. This is not a question about if you agree about Democrats. This is a bottom line. What really happened to the highest level was fascism. Bottom line. So I need you to pull up your panties and put your drawers on and understand that this is about people's voices that were not represented. It's just that simple. Y'all don't get into conversations. The brother on my page is saying, well, why ain't nobody standing up against the drag queens? Well, guess what, brother? If you feel like somebody needs to stand up against the drag queens, then get on up out the goddamn comments. Let me say it again. Get on out the goddamn comments and start a movement. and elect somebody that you feel that should be pushing your issue. And when you send them to the House of Representatives, I would hope that you will want them to represent the issues that matter to you. And to the pull yourself up by the bootstraps. To the what they should have did was right. Who I blocked. My block game is on heavy today. There are many ways that you can reprimand someone. Many ways that you can give somebody a warning. You don't take away the voice of the constituents, the voters that sent those men there to represent their interests. It's just that simple. Don't allow these trolls to get into conversations about Democrat, who this, who that, what they are. No, this is about the people that sent them to office had their voices expelled. And that should be a problem with anybody. I don't have a problem with people having different opinions. That's why on my page, you see plenty of conservatives that are on my page, and you're welcome to have that opinion. Plenty of progressives that have your opinion. Plenty of Democrats, plenty of liberals, plenty of Republicans. You're welcome to have your opinion. But the whole point is that you get to have an opinion. And they were elected to represent the people that sent them there. That's it. That's all. It's just that damn simple. And this has never happened before. Unless the people were expelled for criminal behavior, and nothing they did was criminal behavior. So to the black guy that always loved disagreeing with me, who I blocked your ass from my page moving forward, I'm going to do you a favor and go ahead and relieve you from your misery so you can stop following somebody you disagree with. So I went on ahead and blocked you. But just in case you listening to this from the back end, you better understand that when it comes to punishment, when it's about black folks, particularly about black men, the crime should fit the time. Let me say it again. The crime should fit the time. And to have somebody expelled for how they chose to protest, there were many ways that they could have been reprimanded other than completely being expelled. And we see this happening consistent across the board. Let's take it outside of politics. Let's talk about the school system. Let's talk about how many black boys are expelled from school for minor offenses, while other students get warnings, other students get detention, other students get in-school suspension, other students get suspension before they're expelled. These are real numbers that support how the crime don't fit the time. When we look at mass incarceration and the cocaine and crack disparity, that is another example of the crime not fitting the time. Nobody's saying you shouldn't go to jail for selling crack. What we saying is, why ain't you going to jail for the same amount of time that somebody white sold cocaine? I need you to understand the difference. That's why I said it is a bigger issue besides just these two young men, because as long as you guys are arguing about these two young men, the trolls are going to keep making you debate them as individuals, debate them as politicians, and debate them as Democrat Party. This is not about them. And you are going to see a lot of individuals keep talking about them. I'm always going to take it off of the politician and the personality of the politician and get to the main issue, keeping the main thing, which is people sent them to represent their voice, and that was taken from them. And if you are serious about justice, and if you are serious about having even your voice, even if I agree with it or not, then you should have a problem with this. And if we don't, then you're on the wrong page. You should be able to see objectively enough that this ain't it. For example, the gentleman, I don't know which one it was, Jones or Pearson, but he was singing Negro hymns. Y'all know I don't like Negro hymns, so I don't. He was actually taking it back to the 60s. That's not the way I like to advocate, but that don't mean that I'm not standing for what's right. And what's right is they expelled this man from representing the people that sent him there. That's it. That's all. Even if we disagree, those people have an opportunity to make their voice heard. And if y'all believe you got an opportunity to have your voice heard. Some of y'all believe that you got the right to say whatever you want to say to me in the comments, but you don't believe that the people that elected these people that actually took the time to jump their ass out the comments and go down and actually vote these young men to represent them, they don't have a voice. But you feel you got a voice for me all day long on my page and my comments when you didn't elect me, when you didn't pay me, where I didn't ask for your vote. I damn sure didn't ask for your donation, nor did I ask your opinion. But yet you feel like you deserve to have an opinion in my comments, but you don't believe that the people that actually elected this person to represent them, they don't get a right to have an opinion too? Make it make sense. Because I got news for you. I don't owe you. I don't have to listen to your opinion. I got news for you. I can just block you off my page. Oh, but you don't want to hear diverse opinions. Well, I'm not your elected official. I don't have to hear your diverse opinion. I can just block you off my page and keep it moving. So if you feel like you got the right to say something to me, why do you not feel like the people that elected these men have the right to have their voice heard? It ain't making sense. So again, for the trolls in the back that want to make this about something else, we're going to keep the main thing on this page, on this podcast, which is these men were elected to serve their constituents, and whatever that policy is, they have the right to serve their constituents and actually do what they say they're going to do, which is a good thing in politics, even if I disagree. This is not the conversation about what should be with gun control. This is not the conversation about, they really should have did such and such. This is not the conversation about if you like Democrats or don't like Democrats. This is not the conversation about if you disagree with them as a whole. The conversation is about the people had their voices expelled. Because the trolls, I'm telling you guys, they're going to keep jumping you into this conversation on, well, shit, they ain't doing what they supposed to do anyway. Look at the Democrats, and we need to be this, and we need to be that, and I don't like Pearson, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. This is about the people. This is about the people. And if any of these people feel their voices should be heard in the damn comment section, who I have no power to vote in anything, but yet you have opinions that you feel like I should hear all day long, then you damn well should believe that the people that voted in these individuals should have the right to make their voice heard. And that's it. That's all. You really can just keep it on that. Just keep it on that main thing. And that's how you're going to block a lot of these unnecessary conversations that's going all around the mulberry bush. Bottom line is, you can reprimand them for whatever you felt they didn't do right, but to expel somebody, completely take their seat from them, that was taken from the people. And if you don't get that, then you don't understand politics. You're just an agent of chaos that's just running around keeping bullshit going on the internet. Let's call it for what it is. Now, with that said, we're going to look at next week and see what this looks like. Many of you have been asking, well, what can they do next? Well, number one, next week, the city commissioners, the county commissioners, which is why I always talk about why it's so important to get involved on the local level. They will have an opportunity to seat them again as interim elected officials. Then there's going to be something called the special election. The governor has to decide, has to have a certain time frame that he announces a special election. Special election, so that you guys, if you don't understand, that is an election where if there's a vacancy, somebody dies, somebody's expelled, something happens where right now, maybe they got appointed to another seat. Many things can have a reason for a special election. So a special election will happen next, and then there will be a general election that will determine who gets that seat. Yes, these young men have every right to run again for the special election and the general election. And I also want you to know that they cannot be expelled for the same offense twice. Again, they cannot be expelled for the same offense twice. That's not me saying go in and do the same thing twice, but I did want you to have that information that if they get elected again, they cannot be expelled for the same thing twice. So they will be eligible to run again, because I know many of you wanted to know what was next. They certainly can be appointed next week by the city and county commissioners. This is why you need to be involved in the city and the local level and the state level, like I always tell you guys. And then they can run again for the special election and the general election. Usually the special election, they normally, I believe, don't hold me to it, 30 to 60 days to say, hey, special election. And then they have to have a general election, I believe, within 100 days, if my memory serves them correctly. But there is a time limit, if a time limit on actually getting that seat filled. But in the meantime, they can send them there to be their interim until another position is another position is elected, and that will have everything to do with local leadership. People ask, how can you get involved? You can certainly contact local leadership. They're going to make the difference, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to those leaders, the mayor and those city council and those county commissioners, how much they're pressured from the people that actually get them voted in. So continue to advocate for that. Another way you can get involved on the national level, they're obviously going to need resources again. When I looked at one of their elections, I think one of them was elected by like 1,200 votes. This is why I keep telling you guys, it doesn't take a lot to get an elected position. So they're going to need money when they run again in the special election, when they run again in the general election, in order to get out their vote. So if people want to help in that way, you certainly can get involved in that way. Somebody asks, do you think the Democratic legislative body will want them to return to their seats? It doesn't matter. The power's in the people. Who gives a damn if they want it or not? This ain't about begging. It's about bossing. The city and the city council and the local and the county council will make the decision. You have to keep pressure on them. But even if they elect an interim, even if they put an interim in their place, they still can run for the special election and they still can run for the general election. So who gives a damn about their feelings? Because I got news for you. They don't give a shit about how we feeling. One thing Republicans always get right is they don't give a shit about how y'all feel. They don't care about how many letters you write, about how much you tweet and post. They do what they say they're going to do, and they push the line, they politics until something happens. So that's the answer to that. Who gives a damn? The bottom line is, are these men going to be equipped to run in the city, the special election and the general election? And are people going to help them, or are they just going to move on, to the next story in the next 24 hours? Republicans don't ever wait on y'all. That's one thing I always say. They say I praise the Republican Party. No, it ain't. I'm just calling for what it is. They don't never wait on to see how you feel. So why we give a damn about how they feel? I know I don't. Put a 5 in the chat if you don't give a damn how they feel. I don't give a damn how Democrats feel, to be honest with you. I don't give a damn about how none of them feel. This is about how the people feel. This is about how the people feel. If the people want them elected, then you go put him back in that seat and you show them that your voice can be heard. That's what that's about. Because if they gave a damn, they wouldn't have never did it. And they're going to be rewarded. Like I just said on Revolt, the people that put them out, they're going to be rewarded for putting them out. They love it when they push the line on their side. But what do we do on our side? Are we going to politic till something happens? Or are we going to just keep talking in the comments? The choice is ours. Yeah, Kamala's on her way, but all she gonna do is have a conversation. She can't make them. Again, they can talk all they want to. Republicans gonna do what Republicans gonna do. They don't give a shit about our conversations. You can send the cavalry down to have a conversation. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Bottom line is, who gonna push the line on the other? I hope Kamala's bringing a bag. VP Harris, if you're coming down, bring a bag, because they're gonna need a bag in order to run. And you're not gonna change their mind. In fact, they love standing up to you to show their constituents that you're not gonna change their mind. So conservatives don't give a shit about you sending no cavalry. They come on down. The price is right. Y'all come on down. They don't give a damn. Come on down all you want to. The Democrats only ones like having conversations. Republicans about their gang banging. They putting in the work. So you can talk all day long. They don't give a shit. In fact, they love it when they can show that you came down and still nothing happens. Better start figuring out how these Republicans move, because it's nothing to do. And they don't move like Democrats move. So on the way to do what? I hope she bringing a bag. I hope she bringing a bag, because they're going to need a bag to run. You can't, how she gonna tell them what to do? Y'all can't tell Joe Manchin what to do if we just want to be real with it. Now I appreciate her going, and I appreciate Biden saying something. Two things can be true at the same time, but y'all can't tell Joe Manchin what to do. So how you gonna tell Tennessee what to do? Tennessee ain't listening to y'all. They are doing what their constituents tell them to do, which is push the line. Now, when we gonna start having people to push the line with us? They don't give a shit. Joe Manchin don't listen to you. Congress don't listen to you. So what you gonna tell Tennessee? Not a damn thing, because they know that as long as they people put them in office, that's why y'all go listen to Eric Mays. A lot of y'all follow Eric Mays on TikTok, but go listen to the interview that I did with Eric Mays. Ask him how he was able to stay in his position over a decade while talking shit, because the people are going to continue to put him in office. That's how you win. That's what it comes down to. It's a numbers game, bottom line. Not a conversation game, a numbers game. Okay? All right, y'all. I will definitely drop this because it was important that I said something on Tennessee to give you a little bit of direction before I get out of here. Again, the Black Effect Podcast Network Festival will be April 22nd. I hope to see you in Atlanta. Also, next week, the Breakfast Club is off of vacation, so you will see me again next week giving you the front page news. Obviously, this will be one of the top topics. We're going to kick it off with that on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful resurrection weekend, whether you are a Christian or not, a holiday weekend, whatever you want to call it. I do hope that you continue to pay attention to this and so many other stories. So much is coming to us, so much. I just wanted to tap in and give you this little feedback, because I was just doing it for Revolt Black News. I'm sure that'll air on Monday. They might put some of the commentary up on the social media, but I wanted to kind of tap in with you guys and give you just a couple of talking points as you guys continue to keep, having this conversation. And shout out to everybody in my comments that's holding it down, my co-teachers in the building, because I can't respond to everybody. And I know y'all say, oh, Tez, don't respond, you ain't got time. No, listen, we have to make sure that the truth is just as loud as the lies. Let me say it one more time. We have to make sure that the truth is just as loud as the lies. And I can't respond to everybody. I can't make every comment. I can't get on live and check everybody. So that means that a few of y'all got to be willing to, at least if nothing else, put a sentence or two just sometimes to make sure that the truth is out there for those who want it. You don't have to argue. You don't have to go back and forth, but it doesn't hurt every now and then for you to at least put a sentence down every now and then, so that in case somebody is scrolling by and they want to see the truth, that they get it from us. Because if they don't get it from us, then all they're doing is getting the lies, and lies is working overtime. Lies is working on default. Like Gorilla said, internet trolls trying to satisfy internet goals. So the goal got to be for us to have the truth just as loud as the lies. So I appreciate you guys that, that take the time. Y'all take the time to comment on everything else. You take the time to put in thousands of comments deep on Shade Room. You take the time to respond on SWV versus Candy. You take the time to respond on Real Housewives. You take the time to respond on Hollywood Unlocked. Shout out to all those platforms. But it'd be 4, 5, 6,000 comments responding to that. Where is taking the time to respond on the shit that actually is going to affect our lives on a daily basis? My life, your grandmama's life, your mama's life. You take all the time to respond on the T. So how about we respond on some of this power? That matters too. Just a few of us. Just a few of us. All we need is 300. All right, y'all. Like I always say, use it, lose it, can't make it, choose it. Peace. I'll be tapping in with you again next week.